Yahba Shin Yahba Shalom to the left. In this video right here, I'm going to go in on why Esau trying to escape the space so bad, and these other heathens, because they know the judgment is about to come upon this place. I'm going to let this video play a little bit and pull some precepts. We'll go running this edifying.
And Mars is about to be invaded by several human missions. That's right, July is the month of Mars, as space agencies from 3 different countries are launching missions to the Red Planet within days of one another. Now, if they miss their launch window, they could have to wait until 2022 to try again. RT's Trinity Chavez explains.
Well, the race to Mars is heating up as several countries are launching probes to the Red Planet in the coming weeks. And the United Arab Emirates set to make history as the first Arab nation to launch a spacecraft to Mars.
Liftoff. We have liftoff.
Today, the race to Mars continues. The U.S., China, and the United Arab Emirates all plan to launch spacecrafts to the Red Planet this month. The 3 countries apparently taking advantage of the favorable alignment when the Earth and Mars are closest, which is about 34 million miles apart. But if they miss their 2-week launch windows, they'll have to wait until September 2022 for another chance.
Planet Earth only gets the opportunity to launch to Mars every 26 months because that's when Earth and Mars are aligned such that you can cut down on travel time and take the minimum amount of fuel and energy to get there.
While China plans to send its inaugural Mars probe, a small remote-controlled rover, between July 20th and July 25th, the UAE is set to launch its first spacecraft, called Hope, to circle Mars on July 15th. And if successful, it would be the first Arab country to visit the Red Planet, joining an elite club of nations that have studied the Martian atmosphere.
This mission to Mars is already for the hope of the Arab world and sending them a message to say you can be better, you can improve your country, you can reach where you want.
See, hey, these heathen, they go into captivity through Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, mainly predominantly Esau. They going into captivity. But see, they trying to escape because they know that. They know you reap what you sow. They know about so-called karma and all this stuff. So they think when the judgment comes, they're going to be able to just fly by there and escape. Maybe the Most High got a little trick for them.
This while the U.S. plans to launch its Mars project July 30th. The probe, dubbed Perseverance, is a mission that was named by a 13-year-old student in Virginia after he entered a naming contest for NASA's next Mars mission.
I realized that Perseverance is not only just an important part of the mission, but an important part of humans, and I decided that that was the best name for the mission.
Perseverance is NASA's most ambitious Mars project yet, totaling in around $3 billion. The rover will spend 1 whole Martian year on the Red Planet, which is equivalent to about 687 Earth days. Now, all 3 agencies plan to send rovers to the Red Planet to collect rock and soil samples and also look for life, both past and present, and potentially pave the way to one day set foot on the red surface. Reporting.
Hey, let me go into the scripture real quick. This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 2. It says, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, and that's when I bring them down. Because they ain't finna go to no fucking Mars. But they want to try to anyway, though. And I'm going to show you why they trying to go to Mars. I bookmarked this recently. We'll go to it. That's why they want to escape. Because they know there's judgment coming. They know that day when the elements shall melt with fervent heat. They know that's going to happen. So what they want to do, they're going to try to go in the ground, go in the water, go up into space. But some of them are already up in space because I keep watching satellites and payloads and stuff like that so they can eat and chill out like they on the Earth. Now, let me go to the scripture real quick. I wasn't going to pull this, but it just popped in my mind. Let's talk about the heavens like unrolled like a scroll. The heavens departed like a scroll. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 34, verse 4. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Now, what would make the sky roll up like that? Look at that. That's exactly what it's talking about. That's the vision that Isaiah was having back then. It says, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. Because whatever in this proximity up here, whether it may be like little satellites or little low orbit satellites, planes flying, whatever, and whatever is below, hey, that shit gonna get jacked up. And in this little clip right here was a television film. It says the television film that was made as a public service announcement horrified those who saw it. And that's the judgment that's coming. I'm gonna read on down some and I'm gonna post some more presets. I said before Nicholas Meyer made for television, the day after had its official airing on November 20th, 1983. Then President Ronald Reagan and his Joint Chiefs of Staff were given screening copies in his diary. Reagan recorded his reaction to seeing Meyer's graphic depiction of a nuclear holocaust that devastates a small Kansas town, right? And in these countries, they got nukes, man. They can take out a whole state, not just a city, a whole state, the size of Texas. And what the Most High gonna do? He gonna put a spirit on them to launch them. Something gonna happen that's gonna propel that third woke and make them push the buttons. Now, reading on some more, it says it's very effective and left me greatly depressed so far. They, ABC, haven't sold any of the 25 spot ads scheduled, and I can see why, whether it will be the help of the anti-nukes or not. I can't say. My own reaction was one of having to do all we can to have a deterrent and to see there's never a nuclear war. But the Most High put the spirit on the smiths, like the scripture says. Behold, I created the smith that blew off the coals. And let me get that real quick. And that's another reason why we ain't got to take up arms and do no extra shit to go try to go after Esau. Because Most High gonna put a spirit on them to turn on each other. They're gonna turn on each other. The Russians gonna turn on the Americans. And the heathens, they gonna join in because they already trying to side with Russia right now. But simultaneously, they getting hit too. They ain't exempt. They eat Edomites too. But the ones that make it, them gonna be the first fruits of captivity. Now the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 16, it says, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that he bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. That's what this for right here. That's exactly what this for, man. And they talking about all we can do to have a deterrent to see that there's never a nuclear war. Hey, it's gonna be one though. Let me read on some more. It says, just a few days later, the rest of America will see what has shaken their president, preempting Hardcastle and McCormick on ABC, 8 p.m. Teflon drew a staggering 100 million viewers. An audience that at the time was second only in non-sports programming to the series final of MASH, according to Nielsen, 62%, while the televisions in use that night were tuned in, I should say. It says, what they watched didn't really qualify as entertainment, Meyer stated. He had no desire to make a good movie with stirring performances or arousing music, but a deeply affecting public service announcement on the horrors of a nuclear fallout. He succeeded, perhaps a little too well. Now, it goes on even more. Let me see if I can play this clip. I don't know if it's ABC because I don't want to get my channel struck. They already don't hit me twice. I ain't trying to get no more strikes on it. Let me see. Is this from ABC? Yeah, it looks like it is. I ain't gonna play it. If you want to look it up, I'll leave the link up. Or I'll just let you see what the link is so you can go to it. You can go click on it yourself. Let's see where else I want to be done. Okay, now, this last little part, I think it's the last part. Let me double check and make sure. No, it's actually some more. But right here it says ABC sensed that the film would be provocative and took unprecedented steps to handle the inevitable viewer response. Because people see this now, a lot of people they don't even consider this shit. You tell them like, hey, you know these other countries they got nukes and they aimed over here. Like recently in the news they were talking about China and U.S. supposed to be having denuclearization talks, but China don't want to talk because they know the U.S. be full of shit. So they know it's about to happen. That's why they trying to go up into space. So they trying to get as far away as possible. So when the shit hit the fan and they go down, they don't get hit. But they gonna get God anyway. And like the scripture say, the Lord gonna pull them down from the heavens. Though they climb up to the heavens, then when my hand take them down. Let's read on a little bit more. It says, a 1-800 number was set up to field calls from people concerned about the actual nuclear disaster. The network also issued pamphlets that acted as viewing guides with the fact sheets on nuclear weapons. Psychologists warn audiences would experience feelings of depression and helplessness. Matter of fact, what happened out there in Hawaii when they had the little false flag alert system thing go off and it was talking about this nuclear threat coming in, it's not a test and people was bugging out. Man, but hey, as of right now, you got people so worried about this fucking COVID, they need to be worried about these damn nukes. Fuck that COVID shit that Esau done created as a hoax. They need to be worried about what you gonna do to make sure you don't be still here when this shit hit the fan. Cause that war coming, man. It's just a matter of time. Stuff been stirring up more and more and more as the let gets sealed. I said Smile was an effort making a disaster movie with the characters being offered no help or rescue. Ain't nobody gonna be able to help you. Only way you making it out of here is by your how about shooting out shot. That's it. It's the only way you making it out of here. You can't go hop in no boat. You ain't hopping in no plane. Cause by the time you get in the plane, that radiation gonna be so hot, it's gonna burn the plane up. You get in the boat, it's gonna boil the damn water up. Wherever you go, man, only way you getting up out of here is through the chariots, man. That's why the scripture said the Lord should send his angels to gather the elect from the four winds of the earth, because that's the only way you're going to escape this, man. It says the film had been openly endorsed by anti-nuclear organizations as being a $7 million advertisement with a stance, and some TV industry observers wondered whether ABC would even air it at all. And they was spooked. Best believe them people, them leaders and all that, seeing this as much as they be wicked as hell, they was shook, thinking like, damn, what if this hit where we at or whatever. Now, reading down some more, says, with that, the day after it commenced, it was every bit as terrifying as viewers had been told it would be for the first 50 minutes or so. Actors like Jason Barnes, John Lithgow, and better yet, I'm going to see if I can pull this up without being no ABC, because I don't want to get no strikes, but if it's on something else, I can actually play it. Let's just see like a little clip. And they got the image of it at the top. That's what's going to be going on, man. But not just in one little area, all over Babylon. That's why I say the sun and the moon should be darkened, because we got this dropping in this clouds up in there. You ain't going to be able to see no sun, no moon. Now it says, largely oblivious to an incident on the border of East Germany that triggered an armed response from both Russia and the U.S. And they made this years ago, man. These the two top countries right now that got the most nukes. So best believe they gonna use them. They ain't just got them sitting there and they talking about throwing them. Where they gonna dump them, man? In the water? Where they gonna bury them, man? Put them in the mountains some damn way? No, they finna use them, according to the scriptures. It says, as missiles fell, a mushroom cloud vaporized the community. Those who survived were doomed to brief and miserable lives as radiation destroyed their bodies. And ain't nobody gonna be left over here, man. When them nukes drop. In the previous video I brought up, I was talking about the temperature of it. 100 million Celsius. Nothing gonna be left over here. Let me go into the scriptures in 2 Peter. Book of 2 Peter chapter chapter 3, verse 10, it says, Maybe I'm going to read on through this, because I always meditate on this chapter and be thinking about what's about to come and take place. Alright, here we go. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, The second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you in both, which I stir up your pure minds by the way of remembrance. Because we knew this stuff before. In our past lives, we knew this. We was doing the same stuff, teaching, prophesying, whatever the scenario may be. We was doing that. Now, verse 2, it says, that you may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandment of us as us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior. It says, knowing this first, that there should come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Could be hella people talking hella shit. You bring this out. Oh, that ain't never gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen in our lifetime. We ain't in Bible times right now. That was in them times. People they say all type of shit. And it says in verse 4, it says even saying, where's the promise of his coming? Because people be saying that. That's exactly what they say. Oh, people been saying the Lord was gonna come back. That this was gonna happen. The war was gonna happen. Yeah, all right. They gonna see. And I say, for since the fathers fell asleep, all these things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. Because back when Noah was telling people, like, look, it's going to be a flood. And people was talking shit, like, oh, it ain't going to be no flood. It ain't never even rain. How it's going to be a flood? Because it wasn't raining back then. It'd just be dew, like that little early morning mist. That's all that was needed to water grass and crops and stuff. But once that rain hit, though, oh, best believe people was thinking about what he was saying. Now, in verse 7 it said, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly man. Because the first death was with water. The second one is going to be by fire. And man, hey, if you got any sense in your brain, you ain't trying to feel that damn fire. But in verse 8 it says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. Yahweh is not slack concerning his promise. And some men count slackness, because people be like, oh, people been saying that, but my great-grandma and them been saying that. Yeah, they only live to be like 80-something years old. That's why the scriptures say, one day with the Lord as 1,000 years to a man. So it might seem like it was a long time. It ain't been that long. It says that some men count slackness, but it's long suffering to us, we're not willing that any should perish, but all should come to repentance. Because he giving our people time with all this stuff going on right now. He giving people time, putting the spirit on certain men to warn people, telling them to tighten up, get themselves together, get their household together, giving them time, being long suffering, because that's what that word means. Being patient, basically. Letting stuff play out. Then he gonna bring his judgment. Because ain't gonna be no excuse there. Now in verse 10 it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. What's gonna cause that great noise? That's what's gonna cause that great noise. It says, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. What would cause something to melt with fervent heat? That right there. Now, reading on some more, it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. Because right here in this little clip right here, I was reading, let me go back to it. It said those who survive were doomed to brief and miserable life. No, ain't nobody surviving over here. When this shit go down, the only way you get up out of here is through them chariots, man. And that's why in the book of Revelation they talk about seeing New Jerusalem coming down, being, looking glorious, so to speak. And that New Jerusalem is talking about the people, the men, ultimately. Because when you talk about the 144,000, the saints going in to take the kingdom, hey, Esau, even when this happened, they ain't finna just fold up and give up everything. They still gonna be proud as fuck. and they're gonna have to get grabbed up, and they're gonna have to be basically took and put into captivity. That's why I say the saints should take the kingdom and possess it forever and never. You know, let me read on some more. It says, back in verse 11, it says, seeing then all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be? All holy conversation and godliness. Looking for, and you Akim or you Aqua or whatever be watching these videos, and people don't want to invite you to certain shit. They don't want to be around you because they know what you went to, they know what you believe in. Man, fuck them. Because look, they're going to be coming to you later on and be asking like, oh, what's that chapter you was reading? Or what's that name you was saying? It's going to be too late then. Like the scriptures say, when I called, you did not answer. Most I called out to hella people, man, and they be talking shit. They don't want to answer. They think it's a joke until it's too late. And that's the spirit of our people. Now, verse 12 says, looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwell righteousness. And if you look at this society, man, this society ain't righteous at all. And people be talking about God bless America. Man, the Most High finna wipe America the fuck out and make it a memorial. Now, reading on some more, verse 14, it says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent, that you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. Because we ain't perfect or nothing, but we can work on ourselves, correct our ways. That way, when the Most High look down, and he see his servants, he see his people, he look at him like, okay, yeah, that person tried, he was doing such and such, and that person was doing such and such, he actually was into the scriptures, and she was actually doing such and such. And they be in peace and without spot and blameless. That's how you want to be. So, of course, you ain't going to be doing what everybody else doing if you want to be blameless and without a spot. Now, in verse 15, it says, an account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given to him, have written unto you. And I'm going to stop right now. I ain't going to read on all that. I just want to get into these scriptures, mainly talking about that judgment, that third woe. Because Esau, like I say, they want to escape. And they ain't going to fucking escape. Let me see if I can read it on anymore. And it's actually going to be televised too. So people going to see it. And people going to actually see it in their boats or whatever. They're going to see all that smoke going up. But they're going to see all that. I'm going to read this last little part of this. I ain't going to keep reading the whole article because it's a lot of stuff in this article. It says, well, ABC lacked in the ad revenue it more than made up for in ratings. The mammoth audience was comparable to Super Bowl viewership. The network even presented a post-game show of sorts with Ted Koppel hosting a roundtable discussion of the nuclear threat featuring Carl Sagan and William F. Buckley. Sagan is believed to have coined the term nuclear winter on the program, while Secretary of State George Shultz argued the necessity of harboring nuclear weapons to make sure the nation could protect itself. And that's Esau's blessing, though, the sword. But, hey, as the scriptures say, you live by it, you're going to go by it. So it's roughly paraphrasing. So they want to live by that and have these nukes and all these missiles. Hey, these other countries, now they got them now. And it's all for all the wickedness they done over the whole earth. Having child trafficking rings and shit, taking people's organs, put people in slavery, spreading diseases and shit. And so on and so on. And the list goes on. Esau's track record, they say the sins have reached up to the heavens. So they gotta pay that time. It's a time for them to pay, man. That's all it is. And it's sad to say, man, a lot of our people, they love Esau so much and the society so much. They going right along with it. You know, we're going to this, how it's going to be televised. it ain't gonna take that long either, because it took all these years to build America up. But it's only gonna take 1 hour for it to come to naught. Now, what will take this place out in 1 hour? This right here. Now it says, Book of Revelation, and I'm gonna read on through this. Book of Revelation, chapter 18. I'm gonna start at verse 17. But yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 16. It says, and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught, that every shipmaster and all the company and ships. And that's how you know it's something about America, because America's the main place to import every fucking thing. A lot of stuff ain't really U.S. made. You got stuff come from China, stuff that come from Saudi Arabia, German engineered cars, Japanese engineered cars. What else? European cars, stuff from Italy, from Mexico, all the type of other areas down in South America, whether it be Belize or Argentina, so on and so on. All the stuff come by ships. That's why I say this right here. It says, for in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught, every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea. What place be doing all the trade by the sea? Because all these other places, they trade too, but it ain't talking about Japan. Can't be talking about Rome, because Rome don't got no big ports like the U.S. got. And Rome ain't number what? Got like 1,000 mile radius, so to speak. It ain't even that big. It says, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, the great city where were made rich, all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. And that's gonna be a joyous moment. And the mind frame you want to be in is praying and hoping that you're doing stuff so you don't get caught up in this. Because when this go down, let me see. What else I want to read on this? I ain't gonna read the rest of that chapter. I might bring down another lesson. Like I was about to say, the only way you're gonna escape this is when the angels come. And while that's going on, that's when they're gonna see. They're gonna see that dark skinned man on that big chariot, like mentioned in Second Ezra, which I ain't gonna pull that scripture right now. I'm sure some of y'all are familiar with it. Let's talk about him standing on top of. It looked like it was basically a ship carved out of a mountain. And the end of it, he couldn't see where it was at because that's how big it was. That's why it says every eye shall see him, even them which have pierced him. Everybody they gonna see that big ship. They gonna see him with the angels, and they gonna see there ain't no damn so-called white man either. That's in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. I'm gonna start at verse 30. Let me go into that. And like I said, that's the only way anybody gonna escape from this. The least gonna escape. I'm gonna go into what's gonna happen to them. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall in heaven. And what would cause that? This right here. Like reading this last little chapter, it talk about it being the nuclear winter. And that's what that does. It darkens the sky, because the cloud is so thick, no sunlight or no moonlight can come through. It's just dark. It says, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And that's how people gonna get delivered. That's how they getting up out of there. Ain't no bunker gonna save you. Ain't none of that shit gonna save you. You gotta wait on Yahweh Mashim Yahweh. You gotta wait on Yahweh to send Yahweh to get you up out of here if you part of the elect. And that's what we hope for. That's what a wise person should hope for. Let me see what else I want to go into. Okay, once that happened, that's what I want to go into. Let me see. I think it's in Revelation chapter 21. Let me double check real quick. I know this video getting a little long, but I just want to touch on these points. I seen this little clip online one day. I was just scrolling, looking at random stuff. And I was like, man, hey, this would be something good for a lesson, because that's what they've been talking about in the news if you've been paying attention. So in the book of Revelation chapter 21, at verse 1, it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And the reason why the earth is going to look new, because when some nukes actually drop, they're going to shake the earth too. That's why it says the earth should reel to and fro like a drunkard. So certain bodies of water going to be moved, and certain land going to be covered by that water. And there's going to be new land that appear. It says, for the first heaven and the first earth will pass away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down on Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And that New Jerusalem is talking about the elect coming down, the saints. And it says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh, and this is just to back that up, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their power. And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain. For the former things are passed away. Which is another cut to them Amalekites over there, because if they the real Jews, when did this happen? There's still death going on, still people crying, people sorrowful, people still in pain. So who was that over there? That's Amalek over there, trying to be slick. Now, last scripture I want to go into, because once New Jerusalem come down, these nations, these people, they're going to see it. They're going to see that gloriousness. And the saints shall take the kingdom. It's in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And that's what's going to happen when the saints come down. That's why that song I always mention, when the saints go marching in, I like to be of that number. Hey, you would like to be of that number. Because when them saints go put in that work, so to speak, the least, hey, whatever little super soldiers, whatever little shit they got, that ain't none of that finna work, man. None of that. So, hey, stay alert, stay diligent, man. Don't believe all the little nonsense Esau bring out. Do your homework, do your research, because there's information out. It ain't like you can't go pull this stuff up. Everybody got so-called smartphones. You ain't got to go to no fucking library. Use your phone. Get off that fucking Instagram. Use your phone. Research something. See what's really going on. And the signs is evident, man. I just want to bring this up. It was when it's edifying. Call out Yahweh, Shem Yahweh, and Shalom to the left.